Hi everyone and welcome back to Craft Center. My name is Hozan Agiri and in this video we are going to talk about Telnet and how to configure Telnet on Cisco devices. Normally when we want to configure a switch or a router for the first time, we need to have this kind of a console cable, which I explained in the first video. But when the device has an IP address, so you don't need to always be there physically and have the computer or a PC with you with this console cable in order to configure it or troubleshoot it. And you can do it remotely by using Telnet or SSH. But let me to explain something very important that you need to know. Telnet is not secure. The reason that Telnet is not secure, Telnet sends information including password without encryption. So we need to be careful when we are using Telnet. Let's start and see how we configure Telnet on Cisco devices. My plan here is to configure Telnet on a router and on a switch and get access to both of them through a PC. But for the first time, let's bring a router here and then a switch and a PC. Good. And then to make connection between them by this cable here. Very well. So we will start with the router for the first time. We will double click on the router and then CLI, and here we'll open it here and say no and enter it. So now we are in user mode. By enable, we go to the privilege mode here, and config T, we go to the configuration mode. And then int gig 00, we will give it an IP address 192.168.1.1, subnet mask 3 times 255 and 0. Then no shutdown, and this is done. Then we will come out from this interface mode here, and now we need to configure Telnet. For configuring Telnet, we need to start with line VTY 0. If you just did line VTY first and just question mark, it will ask you, okay, 0 to 15. What does it mean? It means that how many people can have access remotely to this router. It can be able for 16 people to have access to this router remotely. So each of them, of course, need to have their own username and password. But in this case, we will use 0 because we only are one person. Otherwise, it's always recommended between 0 and 4, which means 5 person or 5 administrator or 5 IT man can have access to it remotely. So line VTY 0 to 4, and then here if we use question mark here again, we have this option, which is transport. We say transport, and then question mark again, and we say input or output. Of course, it is input, and then again question mark. It will say all protocols can use and have access to this PC, or no protocols, or SSH only SSH, which is using TCP/IP, or Telnet. I will see you can use either all or you can use Telnet. I will say just Telnet this time. And now we need also to configure a password here. Just say password. Just say 1234. Yeah, 1234 and enter. And then exit. Do right to just save all these configurations. Exit and exit. So if now I close this one and just come to the desktop and give it an IP address here, 192.168.110 with the subnet max 3 times 255, and close it here, and then come to command here and just say telnet 192.168.1.1. As you can see, it will ask for the password. I will say 1234. The password was 1234, as I remember. And now we are inside the router. I say enable, no password sets. So in here, we also need to set password for the enable mode. So we go out, come to the router again. So for giving password to the enable mode, just say enable password 1234. The same password, that's fine, it's just for practicing. Done. And do right to save it and exit. Great. So let's try again. Close this one. Come to the PC here. Command prompt here. Exit. Telnet here to have access to the router and password 1234. And router enable password 1234. Great. So until here, we have given an IP address to the router. We have configured Telnet on it and give access to 5 people to have access remotely to the Telnet. And of course, we have also set password on the enable mode. Now, there is a question here. In this configuration, we have a password for the Telnet and a password for the enable mode. So it means that everyone, if have the password, they can log in and have access to this router. And the problem is that we don't know exactly which person logged into the router. If someone make a mistake and change the configuration, it becomes difficult for us to identify who made the change. For this problem, we need to have or create a username and password for each person who are responsible to make change and configure it, so we can find out who has logged in with their own username and password. How to do that one? For doing it, now we can even do it remotely by the PC. Just say conf. Right now I'm inside the router through the PC. If you can see, this is a PC 0. Just say conf t and a username craft password 1234. 5. Okay, so we just show you the change differences. Just make sure that we have done it correctly. And this is one thing need to be done, and the second one is need to be also done another config. So exit line vty 0 to 4. Sorry, I was not in config mode. Conf t line vty 0 to 4 and login. We need to use this command, login local. So it means that everyone who wants to log in, they need to have their own username and password. And do write exit or int. Great, and exit. So let's see again. We will try again. Just need to close this one again. We will try again to come to have access to the router by using Telnet. Just say Telnet, the IP address of this device 192.168.1.1, which is the router IP address. Enter. You see, now it asks for a username. If I just say craft is username, yes, and password 12345, yes. Now we are inside the router, and we just say ask for the router, enable, enter, again a new password 1234, and now we are inside the router. So by this way we can have access remotely to all of these devices in our network. And now let's do the same configuration on a switch, because switch is a bit different, because switch is not like router to be configured, and you need to configure it a bit differently. So first we need to give an IP address to the switch. We are inside the switch now. For the layer 2 switch, we normally configure the management IP address on a switched virtual interface, or SVI. Okay, so we say enable conf t interface. If you just say interface and question mark, so here we need to use VLAN. Interface VLAN, and then question mark again. It just say between 1 to 4049, so we can create 40,094 VLANs on this switch. I will say VLAN 1 here. Now we can give it an IP address. If we just use this kind of question mark, it say IP here. Just say IP address 192.168.1.2 3 times 255 and 0, enter, and no shutdown, and then do write exit. Great. Now this switch has had an IP address. Now we can do the same configuration for Telnet on this switch as we did it on the router. For doing it, just say line vty, the question mark again, 0 to 15, and we just say 0 this time, only one person. It's okay, I think so. And then we just say transport and input. Actually, sorry, I forgot it, input. And then here we just say Telnet or all, actually. So now we have give access to the SSH and Telnet to have remotely access to the switch. And then we just give it a password 123 123, and login, because we want to give it username and password, login local, do write exit, and now we give it a username username, the same, maybe we craft again, and password 1234, the same password we had before. Enter, do write, exit, and exit. Great. So if I just close this one, so now our switch also has, we have configured a telnet on our switch. Let's try and see if we can have access to it remotely. Exit. Just say telnet 192.168.1.2, which is the IP address of the switch. It asks for the username. Craft is username. Ask for the password. 1234 is password. And enable, we have forgot to give it password. We need to do it now. So how to give a password to the enable mode? Just say enable. Just say conf t and enable pass 1234. To write, exit. Great. And end. Exit. Exit again. We'll close it again. On the PC, command prompt, exit, telnet, this one, username craft, password 123, sorry, 134, craft 1234, enable 1234, here you are, and switch here, conf t. So now we are in the configuration mode of the switch. And this is all you need to do for configure telnet on your switch and router. But let's ask another question. I told you that telnet is not secure. Why it is not secure? Let me to show you something. Just say exit here. Just if you want to see that all this configuration that you have done on your switch or your router, how you can see it, with which command you can see it, you use show running config, enter, and then space here, you will see all of your configuration that you have done it. If you look at here, line VTY, the password is 123 and is login local, and here username craft, and the password is 1234, and only one person can use it. So you have to ask yourself, how is possible? How you can see the username and password here? So everyone can just use this kind of command and just see the username and password. That's why the telnet is not secure. But of course, still we can encrypt it by using another command, which I will show you here. The command is conf t and service, if you use question mark, password encryption. Switch service password encryption will encrypt system password. Just say password encryption, and that is, and do write, exit, and show running config here. Here you are. You can see that the password now, it has been encrypted, but still this is not secure. I will show you the differences between this one and the SSH in the next video, because this one, if a hacker want to find the password for this, they have some special program that can find it out easily. Okay, so I think for this time is enough for this video, and I hope that you enjoyed watching this video and learn new thing. If you like it, I really appreciate it to subscribe my channel, and have a nice day. Goodbye.